Welcome to this week's weekly tarot horoscope predictions. We are ending eclipse week, and I'm going to be going live on TikTok as well, which I will put over here. So you're going to hear me say this intro again, but it's for the TikTok folks. Hello, welcome to your tarot predictions for this week. We are ending eclipse season. I am drinking some green juice. It's part of me locking in. So good. Oh my gosh. It's like apple, cucumber, kale, ginger, something like that. It's something of the sort. We have a lot of Mars energy this week. And Mars is the planet of war. Mars loves chaos. So how do you combat chaos? Through discipline, through routine, through catered discipline and routine. And by catered, I mean by your own perspective. This needs to be something that is unique to you and that works for you. So this is really the lock-in week, but this isn't lock-in as in you have to wake up at 5 a.m. every week. This is locking in as in, oh, if it serves you better to work at night, then work at night. You know, if you find out your night owl, do what you got to do to get shit done. That's what this week is. I'm also seeing that there's a lot of movement right now. So you could be seeing a lot of weird weather changes or things just happening consistently, like consistent week of rains or consistent week of heat, consistent week of cold fronts or something like that. There's a lot of energy being moved around. So this is a great week to tap into blessings and opportunities. This is your week to really move forward and trust that what you're building is actually going to start manifesting. But you do have to build. This isn't receive, like rest. This is not a resting week. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is the week where you get your ass up and start doing some work. Not to quote Kim Kardashian, but that's what this week is calling for. Babas. It's okay. It's okay, Babas. And there's this energy of moving in silent. There's this energy of being able to, because this whole like eclipse season has been the shadows, right? Moving through your shadows, integrating your shadows, releasing what no longer serves. So now that you're comfortable in the shadows, how do you use them to your advantage? That's what this week is about. Moving in silence, moving with foresight. This is a highly intuitive week. So if you want it, you got it, but you just got to come and get it. That's what the energy is. And I love how no cards are coming out. We're just pure channeling here. We are pure channeling through. Let's see. What is coming through here? Yeah, this is a week of new beginnings. And a big message for you that your higher self wants you to know. And I feel like this is a timeless message. So even if you're not watching this, when this is released, this is finding you when it needs to. There's a big new beginning that you have been manifesting. For this collective, your work has really been trying to, I'm hearing revolt. Like there's been revolts in your life, right? Maybe you feel like, because I'm hearing overthrown, like your life is being completely upgraded, changed, turned around, overhauled. This is your turning point. But with the Strength card coming out, this is an energy of needing to control your emotions and pick the fights that are worth fighting. Like, is this really the hill you want to die on? Pick the hill you want to die on and stay on that hill. Sometimes to win a battle, you lose the war, right? I was watching this K-drama and it's like a teen soon worthy kind of K-drama. And basically this really rich dude, he's like the heir of a billionaire or something like that. He's fighting over this girl that his friend is into. And his sister comes up to them and it's like, you guys can't fight over this girl. Like, you know, your friendship means more than that. So let's just do a bunch of challenges and settle it that way. Not that the girl will be the prize, but the prize would be like, okay, whoever wins, like they get their way, basically. But it's to bring them together. So this dude, he is like stressing out. So they're doing a horse race. He's stressing out this horse to the point where he won the race, but there's still two more challenges and his horse gave out. Like his horse will never be able to race again. So that's kind of the balance where spirit is like, please do not burn yourself out. Please know that you can do things in a balanced way, that you don't have to stay stuck, that you don't have to overgive. But at the same time, as long as you show up yourself in a consistent way, you're going to be triggered, because I feel like the masks have been really falling off. And this is an energy that's been happening for the previous weeks, right? I do feel like, I also feel like maybe this is you mirroring. Oh, thank you for the birds. How cute. I feel like this is you mirroring. There's this energy of you feeling like maybe you can't trust yourself to stay on a routine. There's you need to build trust with yourself, is what your higher self is saying. And do it in small ways. And just because you don't, for example, like let's say you miss an alarm. That happened to me today. I was supposed to wake up early, but my phone stayed on silent and it didn't vibrate. I didn't hear it. So I ended up waking up 2 hours later. But you know what? We're still here. We're still on track. We're just moving some things around and we're still doing the things that we want to do. For some of you, Spirit is saying, be the father figure you never had. That's a very specific message. For some of you guys, maybe you're going through deep father-parent wounds, right? Because the King of Cups, this is like fathering energy. And the King of Cups is mature fathering energy, not immature and not too distant or avoidant. This is an energy of taking care of yourself, but like really listening to yourself. Again, what works for some may not work for you, but what works for you, like double down on what is working for you. I see it's like you lost the keys to the kingdom is what I'm maybe, or you lost sight of something. And maybe something you've been trying to work on, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but all I know is that I'm going to get it done. So you've been really healing that energy. Yep. And even like the Queen of Cups coming out in reverse here and the Seven of Wands coming out in reverse. Why does it feel like part of your rest, part of your resting phase, and the phase where maybe you haven't been getting everything you wanted and things have felt like they've been stagnant, or you keep hearing the same messages but you don't see the results? It's because you've been doing inner work. You have to go through the motions, because this is giving father and mother wounds, the way your parents did or did not show up for you. Because we all come from somewhere, whether you were adopted or had a weird living situation or were raised by someone who wasn't your parents, whatever it was, there are wounds there, right? Because you didn't just sprout out from earth, because then, the earth would be your mother and father, I guess, in that analogy. But it's like dealing with the cards that you have been dealt and actually looking at that. There's a lot of wounding. The moment you decided to put yourself first is the moment you decided you were going to succeed. Because that's a really tough lesson that I feel like a lot of you, not only have you been learning to trust yourself, not only have you been learning that you're worthy of wanting what you desire, but you've also been learning that if you don't put yourself first, then you're never going to achieve the success that you're desiring. That's a big one. I held some silence for you guys there. There is some silence for you there. So what can you expect this week, Spirit? What can we expect this week? Okay. This is a good week for projects. Okay. Period. That's what it is. This is what it is. Okay. We got a lot of fire energy. Again, this is going to be a week of doing. This is a week that is not for the weak. Okay. This is a week of let's start doing the tangible steps to get our results. Because part of spirituality and integrating spirituality into your life so that it actually can serve you and not make you feel like you're Delulu all the time is through integrating the tangibleness of it all. right? When you're going through your wounds and emotional healing, you're not just like meditating, right? Maybe you're journaling, maybe you're seeing a psychologist, right? Like there are tangible steps because you can't avoid the 3D. You live in the 3D, you are the 3D. It just is what it is, right? You can't always live up here in the 5D dimension. That's what the integration's about. And what I see is you finding balance. I see you being really busy this week. So this is a week where a lot of things are going to start popping up on your plate, which is good. If some of you have been wanting more clients, wanting, more work or more responsibility, you want to prove yourself, this is the week to prove yourself, not only to yourself, right, but to the goals that you set for yourself. And with the King of Wands coming through, this is just like, this is a good week to make connections. This is a good week to, I'm hearing not necessarily go out and network, but unless that's part of your plan and that's one of your goals where you're like, okay, I would love to meet more people in my industry or something like that, then that's perfectly fine. But what I'm seeing, this is a time to really put your money where your mouth is. There's something about turning the wheel, but the wheel doesn't turn on its own, right? You got to start building the momentum. And if you've already been in the momentum, stick to the momentum because it's starting to pay off. And the 9 of Cups, again, there is something tangible about this week. This isn't like this woo-woo miracle energy. No, this is your wish came true because of the work, the powerhouse energy that you've been pouring into this. I see that you're going to be making connections that maybe you weren't before. And I'm not talking about like friendships, or maybe you will, but I'm talking about like tactical, strategic connections that are coming through. So again, this is a good week to maybe check in on your analytics, maybe check in on your business plans, or, if you've been wanting to track something, create that spreadsheet. That's this week for you. Let's see what else we have. Dolphin, literally financial gain. This is the week if you're really wanting to blow up financially, career-wise, take your career to the next level, make that leap of faith, or take that leap, just know that it is going to pay off this week. It will definitely be paying off for you. Financial gain usually coming in something that you did in the past. Yeah, confirmation. Were we not just saying that? This isn't just a miracle because you asked for it. It's a miracle that you've been asking for, but you've been putting in the work. You've been like on the wheel and you're like, okay, when's the wheel going to start picking up pace? And then all of a sudden you go down a slope and it snowballs. The compound effect. If you haven't heard of the compound effect, it's all the small micro actions that compound over time and give you the big results that you've been asking for. Dark woman. Dealings or relationships with a woman with dark hair or complexion. Maybe some of you go have, a mentor session. Let's actually ask about that. But I'm seeing almost like you guys reaching out to something maybe you normally wouldn't do, or you being like, I'm done DIYing. I'm done doing this myself. And you're just like, I'm going to take a leap of faith and, schedule a consultation with this person that can help me, run my ads, or can help me, I don't know, take my SATs or something. I don't know. Whatever it is for you, right? Sometimes we're stubborn. We're like, no, I can do it. And I can watch a million YouTube videos and get through it, or go to the library and spend hours when somebody has already done it and they can just give you the roadmap to doing it. Right? Sometimes it's just easier to do that. Sometimes it's just easier to swallow your pride and invest in yourself. This is the week where investing in yourself will pay off. But again, it's about finding that balance. You can't, there's no more burnout. No more struggling, no more staying stuck. This is aligned plan. I'm getting educated guesses, right? So we're planning, we're being strategic, but we're not stuck there. We're moving forward. We're taking the action steps. Okay, I definitely see maybe somebody inviting you out to have some coffee. The last straw and the Empress here. This is how you get into your receiving energy, because receiving isn't about doing nothing and meditating all day or taking naps and all that stuff, right? Receiving is about focusing on what you can control. We're not going to go out of our way. We're not going to burn yourself out to get what you've been asking for. When you're in your receiving energy, it's like this quiet confidence. You're like, I know I'm going to get that. So I'm going to continue focusing and continue the faith on this path. Because I feel like people get receiving so wrong in the spiritual community. They make you feel like you don't have to do anything. It'll just come to you. And it will come to you, but you do have to do things. You don't have to burn yourself out. You don't have to subscribe to hustle culture if that doesn't resonate with you, but you do have to do something. You do have to have a somewhat of a map and trust that where you're going, it's going to lead you to where you want to be or better. I always tell people with surrendering, you always have to manifest this, which is what you want, or better. That way you give the universe room to manifest miracles, to bring in abundance and all the other wonderful things, right? I want to know, like, end of the week, what's going to happen by the end of the week, like Friday through Sunday, like a weekend report. And then we'll go into love. We'll see what's going to happen this week in love. But this week is very much focused on you. Okay, what are you seeing in the reflection when you look in the mirror? What are the things in your schedule that have worked for you that you want to re-implement in your life, or things that you want to try out because you feel like it's going to be good for you? That's this week. Okay, for me, it's waking up early because I know I do my best work when I wake up early. It just is what it is. Oh, somebody's cup is getting filled this weekend. The Ace of Cups. There's something you've been trying to like take off, something that you want to take off. There's a project that I see. Maybe it's a creative project. You feel like you've been at a standstill. I think you've been pouring into it. Maybe it's been a couple of months and you're like trying to make it work, but there seems to be bumps in the roads that kind of bring you back. And I feel like you need to be a little bit more graceful with yourself about that. Maybe this has taught you to be more patient, but I see that it's like you're fully taking the risk and walking through that portal. Yeah, literally the same card I was just picking up on, the Two of Swords that was at the bottom of the deck. Whatever this project is, Spirit is saying there is no wrong choice. Just pick a side, pick a path, launch it in the way that you can launch it. Because I almost see like there being many ways that one could do this. Like maybe you've been trying to launch a course or start a YouTube channel or start singing or whatever it is. And you're like, oh, I don't know which way, because you get so overwhelmed. There's choices here, there's choices there. Maybe you've invested in a couple of courses or books or even maybe communities I'm hearing, and everybody has their own different opinions. So Spirit is like, just choose what is possible for you to do without getting anything else. Because there's this energy of the Magician that's coming through, and the Magician in the Tarot, first major arcana. So that means you already took the risk. You're already on the path. But the Magician is coming through specifically because if you ever look at the Magician's depictions, they always have all of the elements there, which is like the wands, the pentacles, the cups, the swords, and all of those represent different things, right? Fire, earth, water, and air. So let me just take a little sip. It's not bad, I swear. Ignore my face. It's delicious. It's great. It's just a little bitter. It's just a little bitter. But it's good. Okay. It's like you have all the tools you need. You've done enough planning. You've done enough research. You're ready for the next step. You are ready to launch whatever it is that you're doing. You're ready to share yourself. You've done enough healing for now. Spirit's like, let's just launching pad, like throw you in the wolves and see what happens. And then you can come back and readjust and take some rest time, because rest is important. Can you tell me more about the Spirit? King of Pentacles. Make sure that you know that your money is not leaking anywhere. So if you have any like subscriptions or something that you're not really sure, or if you don't even have like a basic financial summary of where your money is going and how much is coming in and what is being taken out, your debits and credits, just do the basic stuff. Literally just make a list of how much money comes in every month and what are your subscriptions. Go back to your statements. The simplest thing. You don't even need to download a template or anything. You could just do that on your own. And then you could do some simple formulas and find out what's, there's something about you keeping your finances tight. Whatever you're trying to manifest, it requires for you to have a little bit more insight into your financial world. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like you've been manifesting the same. For some of you guys, you've been manifesting a certain energy. Like you have maybe just enough. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you feel like you can never save because something always happens, right? And part of that is because your financial story is what Spirit is. I'm just a messenger. I know that finances is sensitive for many people, but it really shouldn't be, because numbers are just numbers. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't manipulate. Numbers are numbers. And so spirits like take that power away and bring it back to yourself. But you have to be in control and in the know about that, because that way you're creating space, energetic space, for spirit to bring an overflow, for spirit to give you more than what you need. But you need to ask for it and you need to plan for it so that it can come into you. The way you cancel out debts when you're manifesting is through overflow. Because if you don't have overflow, you're always going to be at minimums, or you're always going to be breaking even just enough or even under. And I feel like for this collective, you have a plan to bring in overflow into your life. Again, I feel like you're launching something important or something that you're working on. You're taking it to the next level. Maybe you're adding different structures in your business, right? That you didn't have before. So this is locking in on what is working so that, and organizing it, right? Being so aware, organizing, tracking. That's been an energy we've been picking up on. And being so aware of it that you know what you can expect moving forward, because you can also predict, right? When like financial literacy is so freeing, to be honest. If you want to feel free, literally, financial literacy is the best way to feel free. Now, the King of Pentacles is coming through here. So that's about you getting your bag. That's about you having this wisdom, this experience. I almost feel like people will even ask you how you did it. But the King of Pentacles, also, not to be that they're high and mighty or egoic, because when they're healed, King of Pentacles energy does move in silence. You only speak what you're meant to say. You don't overspeak. You don't overgive details or information. You help when others, ask for help, when they ask for help. But there's something about you needing to keep things close to your heart, keeping your cards close. The Four of Pentacles, literally. You want to get out of your comfort zone. You want to manifest this dream life. The Spirit is saying you need to start keeping things closer to you. Some of you feel a little bit like your home is not your home. Like there's some rocky energy. But I feel like you move at your own pace. And that's okay. Moving at your own pace, there's nothing wrong with that. But why do I feel like people criticize you, or you're afraid of saying certain things? Because you're afraid that you're going to have to over-explain yourself. Like there are these triggers where spirits, like, you don't need to fall for that anymore. I'm hearing you're making executive decisions in your life. Okay, you're no longer playing it small or shrinking yourself to fit in with others or to please others. Because I feel like you just tippy-toed around people or around situations. You're like just trying to keep peace. You could have a lot of Libra or Taurus placements, because those placements love peace energy. And it's so funny because those placements are very not at home with Mars energy, which is what's happening in the astrology this week. So let's grab you one final message here and we'll do love. Yeah, Judgment. You're becoming free of judgment. In the moment that you really decide that you're going to be seen no matter what, that's where the spotlight gets illuminated. That's where Spirit is like, okay, you're ready. Let's crank it up, right? So that you can step up. You're so close to healing these wounds though, but again, part of the healing journey isn't just going through the motions or journaling or staying in. It's about taking action as well. And when you're manifesting, it's, yes, you have to affirm, right? Get your mindset straight, but then your body, your nervous system, it's mind, body, soul for a reason. Your nervous system needs to feel safe. And how do you do that? Putting it in situations that make your nervous system feel safe. Spirit will try to trigger you, but those will just be like tests. And not even tests, I'm hearing recalibrations to help you know. It's like you never fail the test. You just figure out what's wrong and then you fix it. This isn't like school where if you fail, you fail. That's it. You're stuck. You're behind a year or whatever, right? No, you can always retake the test. And every time you do, it'll just tell you where the work needs to be done. So this is a week where you're going to find out exactly where the work needs to be done. And then you do the work. And then you try again. And then you get tested again. And that's just the process of spiritual ascension, right? You're attached. You realize you're attached. You start releasing. You reconnect with yourself. And then you rise. But as you're rising, we build a whole new ego to protect ourselves. And we become attached again. And then we release, we reconnect, and we rise again. Okay? That's just what we're here to do. It's part of your soul's mission here. Everybody has that mission. Everybody's ascending in their own way. All right, what's going to happen with love? Let me clear out these cards and see what's happening with love this week. I do want to grab a few messages on that. And if you are ready to do the work and integrate your spirituality and get tangible steps on how to move forward and closer to your purpose, and just what is the next level, the next step for you, that's the kind of work I do in my soul integration packages. It's a 4-week program where we map out the core wounds work. We give you the daily practices to connect in with your spirituality, to get your mindset right, so that you can manifest the nervous system, tips and tricks for you. And it all depends on you, right? It depends on it's very catered to you. That's why it's a one-on-one program. I help you connect in with your higher self. We release the karmic patterns that are been following you for lifetimes. And then we finally anchor it all in and open up paths and roads for you. It's literally just the stepping stone to get you closer to where you need to be. So you don't have to do the healing alone. You can check all that out in my link tree. All right, what is happening in love this week? Although I feel like love is going to be on the back burner this week, just considering all the energy that's been coming through, I do want to at least still pull a little bit and see, to see what we could be. What could be happening? What could be coming in? All right, Spirit, what's happening in love this week? Yep, I see delays. Oh. For some of you, your releasing work is anchoring in a new beginning. Because I'm picking up on a collective that you've been really releasing ex relationships and wounding caused by exes. Where you're kind of just done with that. You're not going to take less than what you deserve. And in fact, you'll always bet on you or always bet on yourself before you bet on a past connection that already proved failure. That already proved that it wasn't going to work, that it wasn't serving your highest good. And the Ace of Wands is in reverse. So this is telling me that this new beginning, it's like you've been feeling something new, but for whatever reason, you've been also connected to the past. And there has been delays in this new beginning emerging. So for this week, you're kind of just cleaning up. You're just like sweeping away the rest. Because I feel like for the emerging weeks, then you'll really start to see changes in your love life and these new beginnings you've been calling in and new people in your energy, new soul connections. Because right now it's purpose over pleasure. Right now, a relationship would distract you from your purpose and the work that is getting you closer to that. That's why this week is really important about locking in, finding balance. This is also an irritable week. I will say that's the message I'm getting from higher self. Is they're like, if you were irritated before, like this is the week where the irritations are going to be exploding, kind of like a volcano. So if you're like, you have inflammation, Spirit's really going to be emphasizing these parts of your life. And again, these are just triggers to help you heal deeper. So, for example, I found out every time I was eating oatmeal that I would get really badly inflamed and have like pain. And I was like, oh, it's the oatmeal. I don't know why, but every time I do have these symptoms, it's the oatmeal. And then I went a few days without eating oatmeal and I was totally fine. So something like that could be happening to you, where you start to really clock in like what is triggering perhaps pain or healing, right? Again, where are things leaking? And with the Six of Swords, you're being guided to just, even if the waters don't look that great, even if it looks like there's going to be a storm, just trust that you're guided and that anywhere is better than here. This is what Spirit is saying. The Ten of Wands, you're releasing a lot of burdens because you're carrying so much on your own. And the Ten of Wands is almost burnout. So be careful to not burn yourself out again. Especially when it comes to love, I feel that you guys are just moving forward this week. And maybe it feels scary to get out of your comfort zone, right? Some people, there's a quote that says we prefer the devil that we know over the angel that we don't, right? Look, the Judgment card came out again. This is just a week of realizations. We're just realizing stuff, right? Maybe the Kardashians are about to have another scandal because I quoted them twice in this video. They're in the energy. The Five of Cups. Yeah, Spirit's like, stop crying over spilled milk. We get it. You're disappointed. We get it. That was a hurtful experience. But you get to choose if you want to be happy or if you want to stay wallowing. It's okay to feel your feelings, but are you going to stay there? And the Eight of Swords talks about blockages in your thoughts. Maybe there's something you want to do, but you think you can't do it because you feel like you know certain things, right? Like, for example, I have a cousin who got into the military and she had reapplied a bunch of times and people were constantly telling her, that's bad, you shouldn't reapply, like you should just give up because that means that they're going to flag you and you're never going to get accepted. She literally got accepted last week. So sometimes you think that people's advice or what you know has been true for other people, you apply it to yourself and it's not true for you and you're actually limiting yourself. And she lives in another country, by the way, so I don't know how the military works here, but this is from a different country. This is a different country. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Coins. Yeah, like you're getting rewarded. You're stepping up. But it's only once you release what is no longer in your highest good. Well, that was this week's energy, guys. I feel like, again, love was not very present, but it's because new love is emerging. But in order for new love to come in, you need to make space for it. And sometimes, we have to move through these love wounds because it isn't just breaking up with a person. It's breaking up with that version of yourself. It's leaving that person behind. And that hurts more. It's harder to have a honest conversation about your part in things than it is to put blame on the other person. So this is a week of hard conversations, but not letting yourself get drained or depleted or stay in disappointment because of those harsh truths. It's just taking it in, readjusting, and continuing on your merry way. That was the reading, you guys. Okay, we're gonna be doing some live questions. So if anybody wants to get on this or has gotten on the list, please let me know. Oh my God, hi Jen, hi Ruth, hello, welcome in. Saying hi to the people on TikTok. We're live on TikTok and on YouTube. Hi Dwayne, is that how you say it? Hello, welcome in. Yeah. Let me cleanse these cards, you guys. If you don't know, I like to do live readings. They start at $11 for a quick yes or no or an oracle pull. And then we move on and we do the $17 readings as well. I don't know why I said we move on and we do. But the $17 readings are one question with tarot. And if you want tarot and oracle cards, if you want to go a little bit deeper on your question, we do the $25 readings. And that one does up to 2 questions. So you could do what's going to happen in love, and career, like all in the same. So those are the options. We have PayPal, Apple Pay, Cash App. I feel like my mic is so far away, so I'm sorry, YouTube, if you couldn't hear me that well. But yeah, those are the kind of readings we do. Those are exclusive to live. So let's see here. What day is it today? Oh, there we go. And if you do end up paying through Cash App, please let me know so that I can manually go check and put you on the list. And actually, we're gonna... Hi, good morning. Finish my juice for a second. And then we'll bless the cards. I'll read some comments. Let's see. TikTok always goes off. Good morning, you guys. Oh, I'm glad it was resonating. Who is this? Delete and block. We're gonna report. Guys, if somebody's commenting, like, message me, don't message them. Like, what? That is obviously spam and impersonators and all that. Let's see. Sorry, let me block this person. Because, like, who does that? So rude. Don't come on my live and tell people to message you. And yeah. I see you, Jen. For all of you guys leaving those comments, we are doing the readings. The list is open now. Is there a message besides take care of yourself? Yes, there were messages about that. I think so. I think I did a good job at doing that. Let's see. Wow, you guys really went off. Okay, there we go. I'm caught up. We're caught up here. And we're caught up on YouTube as well. And yeah, let's bless the cards. I think what I'm going to do, since there's only one person on YouTube, I'm going to log off YouTube and just stay on TikTok for the live readings. Unless you give me a comment, you can let me know what you want to do. But I'm not seeing anybody interested, so we're going to end the stream here.